This is Renee with Tridea Partners, and today I'm going to show you how to post to a closed year in Microsoft Dynamics GP. Recently, we received the question of whether a user could enter a journal entry as an adjustment to a closed year in Dynamics GP. The answer is that this is possible depending on how far back you need to post. The rule follows that you cannot post to more than one closed year. So if I have closed 2012, I can only post back to 2011 and no further. As such, when closing the current year, it's a good idea to verify that all closing entries and adjustments to the previous year have been made. It's also a good idea to have a backup of your system database before closing the year so that if you need to make an adjustment to more than one closed year, you can revert back to your backup and make those changes. So let's say you're ready to close 2012, but you need to post a journal entry adjustment for 2011. To do this, you will need to reopen the fiscal period in which you will be posting to. You can do this by navigating to the fiscal period setup window. You can go to Microsoft Dynamics GP up top here, Tools, Setup, Company, and then Fiscal Periods. And the reason why you need to reopen this fiscal period is because you cannot post to a closed period. So naturally, we'll need to reopen that period prior to posting to it. So here I have 2017 loaded, and that's because I'm currently in Fabricam, the sample company that comes with Dynamics GP, and Fabricam is set to 2017. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this drop down here and go to 2011. And you'll notice that in the grid below here, I actually have checkboxes available for each period per series. And what this means is I can actually close each period per series. And the benefit is that I can actually leave the GL open while closing the rest of my subledgers. And the reason why we would want to do that is that when we're at month end, sometimes we might need a couple extra days or another week to make year-end, month-end adjustments to our GL. But at the same time, you don't want users posting to the subledger to a closed month. So by having this setup available to us here, this allows us to close those subledgers while keeping the GL open for any month-end adjustments you need to make. On the same note, this means that if you need to close the entire year, you need to make sure that all the checkboxes here are selected. You can easily close the year by selecting the Close All button, which will do the job of selecting all these checkboxes for you. So here I'm going to deselect period 12 for the financial module because I want to keep my GL open. I'm going to make a year-end adjustment to the GL, and that is why I'm keeping this period open. I'm going to click OK to save my changes, and next I'm going to want to check the GL setup window. I can access this by going to Microsoft Dynamics GP, Tools, Setup, Financial, and then General Ledger. Here in the General Ledger Setup window, there's one option I need to verify is selected before I can post to a closed year. And that option is Allow Posting to History. So I'm going to select this here, and I'm going to click OK. Once you have those two items verified, you can post to a closed fiscal period as long as it doesn't date more than one closed year. Now you're ready to enter and post your adjustment transaction entry for the closed year. Once you're finished, go back to the General Ledger Setup window and unmark the Allow Posting to History option. You may leave it marked if that is the default setup, and then remember to close the same fiscal period that was previously opened. So in this case, I would need to remember to close my period 12 financial module. As a recap, here are the navigation paths to those two windows. The fiscal period setup window, go to Microsoft Dynamics GP, Tools, Setup, Company, and then Fiscal Periods. The General Ledger Setup window, Microsoft Dynamics GP, Tools, Setup, Financial, and then General Ledger. For more information, please feel free to contact us at our email or phone number below. Thanks for listening.